I guess here we are. Live. Trying to pull up the chat. It says I'm going. Sorry, guys. It says I'm going, but I'm refreshing my page and I can't see chat. So there it is. Yay. We are here. Okay, and now that I know that I'm live, yeah, Brett, if you want to come on, I can shoot you the link to the thing. What I'm talking about tonight is a very big concern of mine. And the amount of effort that I put into doing what I do is that YouTube, Google is not promoting me or is not doing anything, which they really don't need to. But I used to be in every country in the world. And now I'm like only in US and Canada. And I think it's a monetization issue. And I've talked to people who are monetized and they're like, yeah, they pretty much open it up then. And I might have to go that route. I just have to in order to keep doing what I'm doing. So that's what this whole discussion is going to be about is, people who don't upload content and don't work with YouTube don't know what we're talking about, but YouTube has changed drastically in the last couple of years. And I'm not a big guy for like looking through my analytics with a fine-tooth comb, but I noticed I just checked them and I'm like, really? I'm only in like a couple of countries now? What happened? Because when I was a little guy, when I just started, 4 years ago, something like that, when I just started, I'm in every country in the world, including China, who has an internet blockade. Okay. Now it looks like I'm in the US and Canada. And I have to understand that, I'm basically using their service and we have to rub each other's backs or something. I mean, we want to put commercials on your stuff. They've been bugging me about that for years. And, if I don't do it, they're just shutting me down. It's kind of how it is. And so what I want to do is a quick live stream here about what you all think about it. I have been anti monetization for a while. I don't think it's like a sin or something like that. I don't like the idea of selling the gospel. But if people don't get to hear the gospel because YouTube decides that, well, you're not monetized, so this person can't see your video, you got some questionable areas. Questionable areas in that. YouTube has been censoring all Christian channels. Yeah, Brett, if you want to come on and talk about this, that'd be cool because I honestly, I haven't looked at my analytics in 2 years. Okay. I really haven't. And when I first started, analytics was the biggest thing where I could go, oh, look at all these people. Look at these people. Look at these people over here. Look, China. Even people in China are watching me. And that was something that kept me going. And now I look at my analytics and it's basically I'm preaching to the choir. And that's not what I want to do. Okay. I'm not that guy to preach to the choir. There's a lot of people here to preach to the choir. I'm not needed for that. I needed to go off in there and go into Muslim territory. I need to go to China. I need to go off and go and talk to those people. That's what I think. That's what I think about all that. Brett, if you want to come on, I'll shoot you a link here. But you get the gist of what I'm saying is I'm basically using the YouTube service for free to talk about Christianity. Now, in order for them to promote me, I'm going to have to do something for them, which means putting ads on my stuff. Now, there's already ads on my stuff because if I upload somebody else's stuff, which I stopped doing because it turns out that even though it's totally cool to upload my stuff, 2 years later, somebody else takes over the organization and they say, well, we need to be monetized now. Then they come after me. It's like years later. So I already have ads on a lot of the stuff that's on my channel. That's just how it is. And you know, I don't care. I don't really care. All right. So what I'm going to do here is if you what do you guys think? You think if I do monetization or not monetization, you can do the thumbs up or the thumbs down. I don't know what I'm going to do, and this is going to be coming off in like weeks. Okay, like weeks. I don't know because it's just very disappointing to me. I have a video actually. Max Bauer thanks the planet, I believe it's called, a couple of years ago, where I'm in every country. I go through my analytics and I'm in every country. Let me share the screen and show you what it's like now. I'm sorry I'm not watching chat because I'm on my rampage. I got my stuff. Okay. So here we go. United States. Okay. A little bit in Canada. Never had anything in Greenland. But I used to have people all over Africa watching my stuff. What changed? I have like thousands more subscribers now, and there's nothing here except South Africa. Okay. Nothing in South America. I know I have Australia a little bit, and yeah, Europe. Nothing. Nothing in Russia. I mean, this is bad. That's bad. I mean, there is something there that is stopping these videos from going through to these countries. And these are the people who need it. These are the atheist guys out there. These are the people who need it. These are the people who need good, solid teaching. So that's what I think about that. All right. Well, I'll go back up to chat and look at a little bit. A is for horses. Okay, thanks, Brett. Brett saying that YouTube has been censoring Christian channels. Well, it's not just that, it's even popular channels. It used to be that you made $1,000 per million views is if you're monetized. And now it's about a third of that, from what I understand. But if you're not even monetized at all, YouTube just won't even put your channel up there on a suggested list. Like I did a study Romans 10 or Hebrews 11 or whatever. And you type that in my video is not even going to come up because I'm not monetized. They just don't. They don't care. The only people that see my videos are the ones that are actually subscribed already, and it's fine. But you know, Deb Jones, I only worry because it's like promoting the adversary. Well, I am using the adversary right now in order to be online. They're the ones who allow me to even speak. And in some way, shape, or form, I'm like, well, I can give something back. My only problem with monetization is that I have no control over the commercials that are played before or after or whenever they're going to do it on my videos. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Big deal. Yeah, I shot you a link, Brett. I don't know if it was the right link because I'm going through like 3 different screens, but I think I shot it out to you. Thanks, Deb. Whatever I decide. At the moment, either it's going to be slowing down, you might say.
It is. It
All
is.
right, cool. Either right now, Deb, turn off your speakers, man.
Hold on. All right, I just turn them down. It bleeds through. I got a headset on. It literally bleeds through.
I can hear you. I can still hear you.
You can't hear feedback though, can you?
Not this second. No, I can. All right. Okay. No, I can.
Oh my God! I'll turn it down more. Ridiculous. How are you hearing through my headset?
I can hear, man. I am here. I have, ears like a.
I don't know.
I can still hear it.
No.
Yes, I can still hear it.
All right, hold on. Ridiculous. While I get my kids in bed, I'll be adjusting this. Apparently.
Just mute it. I'm fine. All right, so Deb Jones. Dude, I can still hear the stuff in my ear.
Oh my gosh.
I was hearing that last night too, and it was like, it's hard to talk when I got that going. But
all right, what about now? I've got it so low I can barely hear you. I'm trying to test this.
Yeah, well, I thought you were wearing a headset.
I am.
All right, well now it's fine.
All right. This microphone is so sensitive.
I'm glad that it looks like most people are supportive of me if I do decide to monetize my channel. And that is the main thing, is not really for, a financial gain or financial benefit for me. It's that YouTube will not support me. They won't support me unless I support them. And they're the ones who allow me to go global on the internet and do what I do. And before Google took over, I was worldwide, and now I'm only in a couple of countries, and that's aggravating because a lot of the messages that I have are for people that are in atheist countries. Czechoslovakia is the #1 atheist country. Out to those people in Europe. And if I can't get there, if I can't get my message out there, then what's the point? There's a lot of people out in the United States who can say the same things that I do. There's a lot of people out there, got church buildings everywhere. But these other countries is really what I'm concerned about. And I think that the only way that I can actually get there is if I, sort of shake hands with Google a little bit and try and do that. And we'll see what happens. It's one of those things where I can test it out And if it doesn't work, then just turn it off. The videos that come up, I can choose to monetize or not to monetize. Like I said, the biggest problem that I have is that I cannot choose the commercials that come up before my videos. It's just something that you have to deal with. But right now, um, Google is paying for this live stream, and that's kind of how I'm justifying this. Is Google is actually setting this up? Okay, they're the ones who say, "Yeah, go off and go do what you want to do, put content up, and we'll figure it out." And they've been bugging me for a long time about monetization, and it turns out that I guess I've basically been shut down. The people that are my subscribers are the ones who watch me, and I'm not getting out to the people who have never heard the gospel before. I'm not getting out to people, Muslim nations. I'm not getting out to people in atheist countries. I'm not getting out to those people. I'm only talking to the choir. And that's not me. Okay. That's not me. I'm not a talking to the choir guy, because the choir always gets mad at me. The choir wants to get mad at me. I want to go after other people. All right. So I'm going to check out chat a little bit.
Okay.
And
test this microphone too. Can you hear me?
Yep, you're a little low.
Okay. But do you have feedback?
Valerie, now I know why my videos don't have many views. Yes. See, here's the thing. And I've been incredibly busy for the last couple of years. Okay. And YouTube analytics is not a huge priority of mine, but I know when I started my channel, I used to check my analytics all the time. Okay. All the time. And I was in every country of the world. And I haven't checked it in a long time. Bought a house, moved, doing all this stuff, doing all this fixing up stuff. And now I check my analytics and I'm like, how is it possible that my average view time went from like 22 minutes to 6 minutes or 8 minutes or something like that? And how is it possible that I'm not in every country of the world? Well, you had this big turnover with Google and YouTube and what they were doing. And they also changed the rules into who gets to even be monetized. They changed everything. And it was pretty much like right there, you're done. If you're not monetized, we don't care about you, and we're not going to support you, and we're not going to put you on suggested list, or we're not going to do anything. And that's what happened. And that's why a lot of people, that's why Patreon exists. I mean, period. Patreon exists completely because of people who used to make their money off doing YouTube videos. They can't make any money off them anymore. So they have Patreon supporters. That is why that exists. That's it. People that have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, they have Patreon to pay their bills because YouTube doesn't give them any. That's how it is. How it is. Yeah, Gary, monetize. I'm looking at that. That's probably going to be the way it's going to go, at least a test. Like I said, I'm not going to make any money. I mean, most of my videos have less than 1,000 views now because YouTube isn't promoting them or doing anything with it. So, yeah, I make a nickel a video. Ooh, well, whatever. I don't care about that. What I care about is that if I do a video on a subject, like we did Lordship Salvation, we did dispensationalism. If somebody types that into YouTube search dispensationalism, YouTube will actually put my video on there. Otherwise, they won't if I'm not monetized. Okay. Gary, I think Robert monetizes. Yes, he does. He always, for the most part, has. Yeah.
I'm trying here, Max. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah. You're a little low, but yeah, it's all right.
Okay. That thing
Yeah.
conflicting.
How about I just don't watch commercials, Andy Sims? Yeah, you don't have to. Run an ad blocker. I never see anybody's commercials on my YouTube stuff or whatever. Um, yep. Infinite Architect. You could always donate all the money. Well, the money isn't really an issue. Um, because unless my views up like dramatically up, I'm not going to make anything. I mean, I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned about the distribution of my content. That's what I'm concerned about. I don't really care about the money. And you can look through my last months of videos and, I might have 1,000 views or something like that on per video. That's about 10 cents. So over the course of a month, I make $3. I mean, that's not the concern. The concern is that I'm getting shut out because I am not a quote unquote partner with YouTube. That's the thing. They're not going to distribute my stuff. And from a business standpoint, I can understand that because I wouldn't just let some guy do stuff for free either. But that's what they're doing. They're letting me do stuff for free. With ad block, as far as I know, the channel owner gets nothing if the commercial doesn't load. Well, that's fine. Yeah, and the thing is that I think I have a couple of different videos where I say that I don't want my channel to be monetized because I don't want to feel like I'm selling the gospel. And I'm still in that camp. I'm still there. But if the gospel only gets to people who are already saved and people who are already listening to me, then there's a problem there. I want my message to go out to people in the world, people that aren't used to hearing stuff about Christianity. And I have a little bit different take on Christianity than a lot of people do. And maybe that's what it takes for those people to get saved. I don't know it. I don't know. I'm just sort of flustered, you call it. Okay. Um, when I see that my views are coming from United States, Canada, I'm like, what is there, like 30,000 pastors, United States, Canada? Who's out there preaching to the people in India? I used to be one of those guys a couple of years ago. What happened? What happened? And the only reason that I'm not there now, I think, is because of this issue where YouTube is not going to promote my channel at all unless you're already subscribed to me. So it's just a thing that I'm probably going to have to do. Deb Jones thinks they shadow ban you. Yeah, they could be. I don't know. It's very weird. It's incredibly weird. When I think I had like less than 500 subscribers when I started and was sort of ramping up. And I have viewers in every single country in the world except Greenland. I don't know if that Greenland's never showed up with anything anywhere, whatever. But it's really strange. And then, I got 4,000 more now and I got half the view time and half the countries. And it's like, there's something going on with that. And in my old videos, I was very literally poking people in the eye. Okay. Quite literally. I wasn't quite as nice of a guy.
You're a bad man.
I am a bad man. Bad man.
Bad man.
Sandy Sims Woods, Max, do I want what? I want to have my message spread out through the entire world is what I want. That's what I want.
Yeah, and I don't see it as a bad thing. Monetize. There's nothing.
I don't either. The problems I have is that if you're there are some people who depend on that for their income and things like that. Monetization is like, oh, I got a whole bunch of views on this sermon. I got a whole bunch of views talking about this. I got a whole bunch of views talking about that. Let's keep doing that. And obviously you're going to get, date setting stuff, rapture stuff. I mean, it twists the message that you're actually trying to put out based on the money that's coming in. And that's the big issue that I have with it, as well as the fact that I can't control the commercials. And that's a deal for me, but
Yeah.
excuse me.
I see what you're saying. You're talking about creating stumbling stones for others.
Oh,
say, well, all he's doing is for the money. Look at that.
Well, and here's the thing, that if I become monetized, it's like, look at this guy. He's monetized. He's in it for the money, and it's like, I've made how much money have I made? Negative money. I think I've made negative money that I've been going quite a long time, and people think that, oh, you're making videos, you must be making hundreds of dollars and all this. No. No. My videos, I'll make about 10 cents a video, I think, if I was monetized. And I don't know what YouTube would do if they promote me more or whatever. I don't care about that. I need YouTube's help to put me in these other places that are not Christian camps. That's where it's most important, is to talk about this stuff, especially when we're talking about King James Bible, things against the Bible, and things like that. Apologetics. Very important to go off into places where you're not in the same camp as everybody's a Christian. Well, no, you want to go off to the Muslim nations. You want to go off to the Hindus. You want to go off to the Buddhists. You want to go off to Russia. You want to go off to all these people. These are the people who need to hear it, not the United States and Canada. And that's where I'm apparently stuck, according to my analytics. And I don't know why. I don't know why. It has to be a YouTube thing. And all I can do is try to maybe monetize some stuff and see what happens. That's all I can do. I don't like doing it. I really don't. I wish everything was like it was 5 years ago. I just want to go back to 5 years ago.
And I'm looking at the analytics on my channel. I don't have, I don't make videos. I made some half a year ago, which I'm actually starting to make some more now. But I'm looking at the analytics. It looks the exact same as yours.
Yeah.
The exact same. There's none in any other country watching. And it used to. It used to show that.
Yeah. I have a video that says Max Bauer thanks the planet. Okay. It sounds like I made it at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning because I'm like, and here we go over here, and here we go over here. I mean, that's what it sounds like, but it was literally me. Like, I can't believe the amount of support that I get for what I'm doing. And I had like just a couple hundred subscribers, and I'm like, this is great. And I go through every single country has people watching me, every single country. Now Many years later, what do I got? United States and Canada.
Yep.
That's it. And, United States, Canada, we're Christian nations. It's not, you don't need preaching for this. Okay. I look at it like missionary work. All right. If I'm not going off and saving people from another religious idea or culture or whatever, then I'm not doing my job. There is a lot of people in the United States, America, Canada, who can do this stuff here. I don't need to do it. I care about what's going on in other places, places that I'm too afraid to visit. Well, just add that. Okay. I don't want to go to Iran. All right. I have viewers in Iran. I don't want to go there. I'm scared.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there looking through the analytics, and it's just there's nothing, absolutely
Yeah.
nothing in any other country. Just the United States. That's so
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah. And it didn't used to be like that. Like I said, by Max Bauer, thanks to Planet, I go through every single thing. What I'll do here is I'll do again. I went through every single country on here. Um, I went through every single one. Greenland, of course, has nothing because I guess they're tundra. But I had numbers pop up on every single thing I hovered my mouse over. I have nothing in Africa. Like, really? Nothing except South Africa. And what in the heck? I got Australia, New Zealand, but nothing here in China and nothing in Russia. What? I mean, it's aggravating. And nothing in South America. Come on, these people speak English. They can listen to me.
No, what
Nothing in Mexico. Nothing in Mexico.
your
It's
stream looks
ridiculous, man.
exactly like mine.
Yeah,
That's
it's
it.
ridiculous, man. This is ridiculous. And the only thing that I can think of is that all of these people that aren't monetized, we're just not going to do anything with them. We're not going to, I don't know, push them or something like that. That's the only thing that I can think of. Because otherwise, what would be the reason? What would be the reason behind it?
Well, the thing about looking at that is it's not just they're you're not monetized, so they're not people aren't, they're not even letting your connection get to the other countries.
I don't think so.
Your
No.
IP is cut off from all other countries. That's
Yeah.
obvious because I'm looking at mine, I'm looking at yours, it's cut. And 5 months ago, it was not like that. You had people, anybody that clicks on your channel and is watching a video, they show up under analytics.
Hmm.
Watch time. That's what you're looking at, right? The watch time. It
I
doesn't
was
matter.
looking at everything.
Yeah, but under watch time is if they're just watching your video, it starts counting up the seconds. So if they're in, Japan and they click on your video, even by chance your video just come up and they click on it, they're marked on your analytics report.
Should be.
Now it's totally removed. Therefore, I see you're totally cut off. Your message is not even reaching across the sea. They're
Nope.
sticking you to United States, and that's where you will stay.
Yeah. And I don't
Right,
know
Mystery
if,
Babylon.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if monetization is going to fix this issue, but it is a pretty big deal in that, you know, you're taking away a person's voice, really, in the places where it really needs to go. It really needs to go over into Europe and Russia and places like that. And the biggest thing that we have in the United States and Canada and stuff like that is arguing over whether or not Joel Osteen is saved. I mean, we're we're kicking the can around the block. The important thing is going into these Muslim places, spreading the gospel, showing them the Bible, sending out Bibles to these people, and we're being cut off. We are completely being cut off,
Yeah.
and it sucks. It sucks. And you know, like I said, I'm not a big guy for analytics. I used to do it a lot. And it was only in the last couple of weeks that I looked at it and I'm like, that can't be right. That can't be right. Because when I was a kid, I wasn't a kid. When I was like first getting saved and first starting my channel, for every month, that's usually what comes up in an analytic block. For every month, people would watch 1 year worth of my content. 1 year. What is it now? A third of that. Even though I have thousands more subscribers, it's weird. It's weird, and that's what made me go into analytics and be like, "What's going on with this? Because this isn't shouldn't be happening." Well, that's on, and I think Google is just tired of paying out money for people to do their own stuff, and they want to get some money.
Right.
And I don't know what else to think about that, or whether or not things are going to change if I do monetize, which I still might not. I mean, it's kind of a lot of work.
I
I
think
don't
it's
know.
their fix on, instead of shutting down channels and censoring and doing all this stuff, they just take your IP and shut it off.
Could be.
I think that's their fix. It's a less covert way that they can deal with the YouTube population. So instead, because you hear about some people's channels being just videos being pulled down and not even showing up under their search algorithms,
Mhm.
they get a lot of flack for that. So instead of getting a lot of flack, they're just gonna say, you know what, just turn them off. They can say whatever they want here in the U.S. and I don't care. At least they're not going out to the whole world.
Yeah. And you have the whole YouTube being partners with China and other countries out there, and what they want to do with that. I mean,
I know some big YouTube channels, okay, that I know for a fact that I've been watching them for years, and their subscriber base hasn't changed in the last year, less than that, about the last 9 months, has not changed. I look at their subscribed, and it hasn't budged.
yeah.
And they were getting 1,000 subscribers a week. I'd get on there and they'd start out, they were like 10,000, and I'd be listening to them, and I'd get on every month, and see it, and they were just growing. Pretty soon they were up to 30,000, and it just stopped, just
Hmm.
totally stopped. Like, that's definitely someone behind there punching some buttons, changing the algorithm, changing the search parameters.
And they've been doing that for a while, and I never paid attention to it because, I do run other YouTube channels, and I kind of know how it goes, but I've never been dependent on YouTube money. On this channel, I'd never cared. Okay. I was always like, well, it's a Christian channel. I don't really care. But if they're gonna pigeonhole you and put you in a corner to where you're only talking to yourself or preaching to the choir or whatever, you gotta do something. And I don't know how or if I'm going to go about this, but I did talk to people who are monetized, and they said that yes, when they were monetized, they definitely had a boost in their viewership. So,
Give it a
mm,
shot, test the system. Uh, let's use Talking Doctrine for an example.
oh man,
All right, he's
I
had
don't need to talk.
he's had 1,900 subscribers for the last
No,
year, and it hasn't
yeah,
budged.
yep.
And I know for a fact that something is going on in a major way, and it's more and more and more, because these bigger YouTubers have stopped gaining subscribers.
Mhm.
That's messed up.
Yeah, I think even Robert's been at 200,000 for like a year.
Yep, it's not moving. Nobody's subscriber base is moving.
Look, it's Christians. I'm gonna shut them down.
That's right. And they don't even have to say
I don't
anything. All they have to do is turn your IP
no.
address off.
Well, not only that, is turn off your search engine optimization, turn off your descriptions. Here's what I noticed is when I started, what would happen is you put up a movie and you video, whatever, and you create your title, and then you have your description, and then you have a SEO, search engine optimization, which is if somebody types something in, it's going to link back to your video. And I used to be able to type in there. I used to be able to go type Jesus, and it would pop up capital Jesus, deity, Christian deity, and you click it and then go, okay, the Bible, text. Um, it would come up with these things. Now it doesn't. Now it's like a text document where you type whatever in there and Google doesn't tell you anything. So you have no idea what's being linked to what and what's being keyed in on. My
Yeah.
most popular video is a dumb video, which is the what is it? Peaceful Muslims terrorize Lake Calhoun. It's just of me reading a news story. 380,000 views. I'm like, what? What? You're gonna be kidding me?
Right.
Come on. I'm just reading a news story. It's Google loves it though. And I think when that change happened in Google, where um you could type in like video games or something like that, or like Half-Life is a video game. You type in Half-Life and it would say science or it would say video game or whatever, and you click on whatever it was. Once it stopped doing that and just let you put in your own stuff, there is no more engine optimization. It's just
Right.
everything is just garbage out there.
I guarantee
And
it. If we switch over and we're just playing video games on here.
oh man, I can do it right now. I'm
Yeah.
not going to put it up. I'm a video game player. I haven't been doing it for a while, but I've had a channel up for a long time. And it's like I can put up one video game thing or one movie review, get 15,000 15,000 people on there watching that thing. I mean, come on. Nobody cares about Christianity, which is, we'll have to fight. We'll have to fight for it. Yeah.
And and Infant Architect has a good point too. You have 4,400 subscribers, only 15
Yeah.
watching. Now,
Mhm.
that's another way they get you. You put out your when you put up your videos, they're supposed to get a notification. That is cut way down. Nobody's getting notifications either. And
Yep.
that's a proven fact because on half of the videos I'm subscribed to, I don't get notifications when they do live stuff.
Yeah.
And I'll get on later and they've already, it's done and they've already posted it. And I'll post under there. I didn't get a notification. And you'll see many people under there saying, I didn't get one either. Over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
They got your
What's up,
number,
Jason?
Max. They've got your number. They know who you are.
Yeah, I don't know. See, here's the thing is I don't want to make enemies with YouTube because I actually do like their service and like what they've been allowing me to do. But I do also I have this thing. Okay. I was really bad against not bad, really big against trying to what I would consider being selling the Bible, selling the gospel, selling Christianity. And that's how I looked at monetization. And I'm like, I don't really see too big of a problem with it. But it's not something that I really want to do. However, I understand that I am costing YouTube money. Okay. They are the ones who are running the servers. They are the ones who are doing this stuff. And I might, need to play ball with them in order to get the message out. And it's only fair that they make money for doing what they're doing.
Yeah. So what you're saying is you're willing to take the mark of the beast. That's
Oh, I'm
what you're
taking a mark,
saying.
man. I'm going to
That's
take it right here.
That's what
Right
this
there.
is about.
I'm taking a mark. No, I'm just saying my opinion and my attitude has not changed at all. And what I think about monetization, the biggest thing is not necessarily with monetization or money. The biggest thing is if you depending on that, it's going to start to twist whatever you're saying and the message that you're trying to do is like, oh, gee, September 23rd was pretty popular. I made $1,000 on that. And next thing you know, next September, that's what you're going to be doing. That's the issue that I have with it. Um, Passively making money and letting YouTube promote your stuff, I don't have a problem with it all. And
Yeah.
Christian channels, there is nobody out there who's really getting rich off doing this stuff. I mean, let me tell you,
No.
nobody's getting rich. Robert Breaker is not getting rich. No, no, no. No, no, no.
Yeah, though, especially since they changed that whole thing anyway about how they pay you for every video, every view count. That's all been
Mhm.
changed. So ever since
Yeah.
that, nobody's making anything hardly, unless you've
Yeah,
got
I don't
a
even know how
million
it works.
plus.
It used to be you get $1,000 for every million views. That's the way that it used to be, and that was about a year ago. And they changed everything. So that's what it used to be. So you can imagine a guy like me who I'll put up a video that's like 2 minutes long and I might get 150 views before I pull it down because sometimes I do that. What is that? Are you going to give me a penny and a half? I mean, come
Right.
on. It's
There's a
not why
lot
we're
of
doing this stuff.
Yeah, and there's a lot of algorithms they use that we don't know and understand because when they
Oh, yeah. And they
changed
won't
it,
tell you.
no, yeah, right. So when they
They're,
changed it,
the
the
most crookedest business on the planet is YouTube, but you got to use it. I mean,
uh,
they're letting you do stuff for free, and they are. I think the reason they're able to get away with the crap that they're doing, like people that YouTubers out there with millions and millions of subscribers, people out there that actually are the foundation of their business. The reason that YouTube is able to get away with the crap that they pull is because the content is basically free. It's uploaded for free with people, and they're just happy to get whatever handout that they get. Unless you're talking about like PewDiePie. Do you guys know the number one guy on YouTube? He just plays video games. That's all
yeah,
he does.
yep,
That's it. That's it. He's the number one guy on YouTube.
yeah,
Makes millions of dollars a year. Plays video games.
yep,
That's it.
yeah. Let's do that. Get out your
Yeah.
game.
Yeah. No kidding. I
Okay.
didn't, I didn't have the stamina for it. I tried it. I didn't have the stamina.
And as we're playing the video games, just talk about the Bible, like
Oh
combine them.
yeah, there we go.
That'd be
Figure
great.
out how Star Wars Galaxies fits into the Bible perfectly.
It's very
Now you know
prophetic.
we're old. We're talking Star Wars Galaxies.
Yeah, I don't think it would go too well. We'd just be yelling at each other. Like
Yeah.
these guys aren't Christians. Max,
No one
heal
would
me.
know.
You suck.
Nobody would know I was a Christian. You watch me play Warcraft in a raid. That's how that goes. That's how that
Uh,
goes.
those were the days.
Yeah, those were the days. Sadly, they came to an end, and now I have a house. And it's kind of a
Yeah,
pain in the butt.
yeah.
Mm,
But I would
all right.
say go ahead and try monetizing. I don't think it's. I'm curious now. I just want to
I was
see you
thinking,
do it, just to
yeah,
see if it
I-
changes.
that's the way that I'm kind of looking at it. Is
Because
I'm
then you
kind
go
of
to your
either
analytics and see if it opened up.
well, I'm kind of was either at the point of like, well, I have to put out content for Patreon too, so it's been very busy, and I've been able to do that because the weather has been so terrible. I can't do anything else other than do videos. So it's not that been that big of a deal, but I'm really curious if I can see that change where if I monetize, then all of a sudden something is going to happen. And, it probably won't, but it's just one of those deals. And I can always turn it off. And it's either, we do that and move forward with that, or else I'm just going to do live streams and just focus on that and not do other stuff. It's just the way it's going to have to be because uh man,
I
we had
feel you.
3 weeks of rain and 35 degrees outside. It's supposed to snow tonight and I
Wow.
haven't been able to do anything. So I'm not going to be able to put out a lot of content like I'm used to being able to do, or studying up for studies and things like that, at
Yeah.
least for the short term future. But I was really upset, like I said, about wow, I'm only in US and Canada. Like
Yeah.
what?
It's
What?
crazy times, man. Like where I am at right now, we talk all on the phone while we're off air all the time, but I'm I've been learning for the last couple years um, computer graphics, CGI, and learning all these programs, and that's what I really like to do that. But
Yeah.
I've also it takes up a lot of my time, and I like to study the Bible, so it was going against my I don't know because I believe we're in the end days. So every time I get on, I'm trying to learn all these new computer programs and doing all these studies and taking these classes. I feel I should spend more time just reading the Bible because I'm not going to have time to really get into this computer graphics art.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, but I want
I
to do,
do.
but at the same time, you know, I'm always I do more studying than I do that, and I would love to be able to implement my computer graphics into what we do. But
The important thing is that a lot of like old cults and things, the original Seventh Day Adventists, the Millerites and stuff like that, they're like, oh, we're gonna get raptured, so everybody sold their stuff and they went and sat in the hill. And that's not the way to go. Is the rapture could happen any day, but you keep living your life the way that you should be living.
right,
That's how it is. And things like this is another reason this is very important to me with this channel is even if I stop making videos tomorrow, this is going to carry on as long as the internet is going. Okay, as long as Google is going, as long as YouTube is going, everything that I said that was messed up, every good thing that I said, it's all going to be on the internet and it's all for other people. After people are raptured out, this stuff is still going to be here. And that's why it's important to me that I want to be in all these other countries. I don't, United States and Canada, we have a lot of people here that are preaching Christianity. Um, if I get hit by a car tomorrow, because I bicycle a lot and people around here are idiots. So I get hit by a car tomorrow. My channel is still going to be here, still going to be here forever. I want my channel to be everywhere,
yeah,
even if I'm wrong.
but you said you said the word shit yesterday.
Oh man. I looked back at that and I'm like, I use that pretty appropriately. I'm pretty happy with that.
Right. You said
Yeah.
P.
Yeah. I could have said a lot of things, but that makes me think.
Yeah.
Know what happens when I think? I get all
Yeah.
messed up.
Yeah. Don't do that. Don't do
Yeah,
that.
don't think. No, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna think.
But I'm on the side. I'm with you, man. I think you should monetize, test it out to see what it's all about. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter what. I know what you're saying that you don't want
You
to
know
make
who's gonna come
money.
up with a video? Oh man. I have to send you the link to it. I did a video last night at like 2 o'clock in the morning or something. Uh, Brian Denlinger commented on one of my videos, and I couldn't actually comment back to him. So,
Why not?
because this tool banned me before commenting on my channel. So that means that when I click on him, I can't reply, I can't ban him, I can't do anything. He just gets to reign free, carte blanche, whatever. on my channel.
Oh, you've been punked.
Oh yeah, I got punked. I got punked. But
That's
I'm
funny.
like the very first video, as soon as I have an ad on one of my videos, it's gonna be Brian Denninger is gonna come out and say, "Oh, look at this guy. Oh,
Funny thing
here he
is,
thinks he's selling Christianity."
funny
Yeah.
thing is he can unban you for a second, comment again, ban you again.
Yeah, yeah.
He can
I
come
don't
in
know
and
I don't
out.
know what the deal is. I because I make videos against Brian, I'm not gonna ban the guy. He can do whatever he wants, but I think he was baiting me because it was like a 2-month-old video, and he just commented last night, and I'm like, "What the heck's going on here? Why would you?" He commented on that Lordship Salvation song, and that wasn't really even about him. I
Right.
just happened to be dressed like him, but it's like, "What?" And he commented on that, and I'm like, "Oh, man.
That's
All
hilarious.
right."
You just
Yeah.
happen to be dressed like him.
Well, I have my costume on. When I do satire videos, I like to put on a costume, and that's it. And he is a Lordship Salvationist, but it wasn't directed completely at him. I mean, there's a lot of Lordship Salvation people out there right now. I mean, huge, huge number.
Yeah.
All those people who don't want to admit to works, they go into Lordship Salvation. And they're like, "Oh no, we're not work salvation, but you really have to work for this." you, you really have to call and ask, and you really have to confess, and you really have to do this, and you have to do that, and you get baptized. And it's like, yep, your lordship.
Yeah.
fun, fun stuff.
Well, I'm gonna have to get off here because I got work early. I'd love to
Alrighty,
sit
man.
and chew the fat with you. Um, but I watched the video from our live chat yesterday, and I didn't. There's a lot of things I didn't get to say to tie anything
Oh,
in, and I
well,
sort
it's a
of
big topic.
knew, yeah, I sort of knew I wouldn't have enough time to really make my points. So I'm just gonna go and make a video, and that
Yeah.
way I could lay it all out and show people what I'm talking about. Because I know there's some people in the chat was like, oh, oh, Brett, you're killing me. Oh, you'd
Oh,
be
yeah.
surprised what the internet says. I'm still pre-trib rapture and all this. I don't know where I was coming
Oh, yeah.
from,
We
but
said at the beginning and the end is both at the beginning of the stream and at the end of the stream is that we disagree on this, and we're going to talk these two different points. And it has nothing to do with salvation. It has nothing to do with anything. And
right,
this is for fun, and this is what it is. So yeah.
yeah. But hey,
Hey.
I kept my studies going. I didn't. If you
Mhm.
notice, if you watch back through, we're talking about I calling it a mountain, and
Mhm.
and Robert and everybody in the chat and everybody's saying no, it's a hill. Okay.
Well, yeah.
Then they say, well, it's a city, it's not a nation. Okay, okay. So we're hitting all these little tiny points, and I
Yeah.
think a lot of people are like, oh, I'm so wrong. But so I kept my studies going, and I'll just say this thing. I don't want to turn into a big chat because I do have to go to bed. But I looked up. This is very interesting. It's a mountain. That's right, Valley. This is very interesting, and I didn't know this because, like I say, I didn't. I don't see the Vatican. But guess what? Where the
Hmm.
Vatican is, Vatican City, it is on the hill. It's on one hill called the Vatican Hill. It's not even on the seven hills. The seven hills of Rome are on the east side of Tigris River.
Okay.
The Vatican City is on the west side of the Tiber River. It's not even on the seven hills. So you can go to Wikipedia, and you can bring up a map, and it'll show you where the seven hills are. It's not even on it. It's
Well,
not
I
even
thought was
mentioned in it.
was interesting about that discussion is I think it was Robert who brought up that the different cities that are on Seven Hills, and Washington D.C. is one of them. That is pretty interesting. I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
yeah,
Um, Washington D.C. was created to be the capital of the country that could not be a state, and so I think it's 20 miles by 20 miles, 25 by 25, something like that.
yeah,
Is an artificial state that's just there to be the seat of the government, and it's on Seven Hills, and that's interesting. I
yeah. That
thought it was kind of
definitely. See,
interesting.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either. But it was just funny when I woke up and I said, "All right, I'm gonna give this a chance. I'm gonna go in because I used to believe it was the Vatican. I said, I'm gonna go in. And I'm just gonna look at every point that you guys made. So I watched your video, and while I was working, I would play um, videos in the background talking about it. And then when they mentioned something, I would look it up, Google it, do all the whatever I needed to do while I was on break at work. And so one of the things was what Robert kept saying, it's the Vatican City is built on 7 hills. So I was like, let's look it up. Let's see what it is. Yeah, Vatican is built on the Vatican Hill, and the Vatican Hill is not even one of the 7 hills. So I was like, what? And then it's like, no, it's on the west side of Tiber River. The other hills are way east on the east side. I'm like, so that doesn't even make sense. So
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, if he's so dogmatic about it's got to be this city on the hills, 7 hills, then that doesn't make sense. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I
I
think
mean, it's just real
I think
simple
the big thing
geography.
with our main deal is America is so young that it can't be an empire like Rome,
Mm,
and that's where we're going with that. It's just too young, and we
right.
might be the strong arm for the Vatican, and we might be the strong arm for whoever, but America is basically a Christian nation. Um, you
Was.
might have well, I
There
would
is.
still argue that they are,
I know.
but
I know. I know.
yeah,
I love
you
your
got
spirit, brother. That you're always willing to just you stick to what you know,
yeah,
but you're also though you have a teachable spirit. I know that we have talks and you'll say, you know what, and I've heard you say it before, like I was wrong. I see things differently now. So
I
like
think
you
I just
mentioned
did that
yesterday,
yesterday.
yeah, a lot more of late, but that's okay. That's fine. That shows me that a humble
Max is
person.
full of crap.
Yeah. But check this out though. This is and I remember I watched the video again, and I'd pause it and listen. And one of the things you said was this is a Christian country. Then you was like, well, it's 50-50. And then I said something like, well, I don't think it's that much at all, which I don't. I don't even think it's 50-50. But then you said America doesn't have the blood of the saints on their hands. So when I woke
Right.
up this morning, it was just on my heart so heavy. And I said, wait a second. We think of how many abortions we've had in last 50, 60 years. Millions upon millions of abortions.
Yeah, but other
The
countries do too.
no, but not like we do. We legalized it, and we basically it the abortion that we've had is in the millions. It's ridiculous, and we glorify it now. So what I'm saying is, to God, those are saints. Those are innocent children that could have been somebody that have a name, you know, those are still God's saints. So it talks about uh, the blood of the saints on our hands. Yeah, I can see that it's the blood of the saints on our hands. We're murdering babies every day by the thousands, and it's
Yeah.
sad. And I know it's we don't look at everything until it's brought to our attention. I just thought I'd bring that up because man, I have
And
friends that done
there is
that.
where you have to make a video on it because
Yeah, I will.
people have been aborting people for thousands of years.
Yeah, but not like this. We've got drive-throughs basically. Come on
Well,
in, drop them off.
the reason that it's a big deal for America is the fact that they were based on a Christian nation and it should never have happened. It
Right.
never should have ever happened. But it's been
Amen.
happening in every country forever.
Yeah, that's why
And
I read Jeremiah. We
we're
destroy
supposed to
his
protect
heritage.
the innocent here in America. And
Right. Amen to
fortunately,
that.
Roe v. Wade screwed it all up for us.
That's
That's how it
right.
goes.
Yeah, that is exactly it. And if we have time before the rapture, I hope Brett Kavanaugh gets in there and bans abortion. That would be a win.
Well, I'm
That would be a
surprised.
win.
What surprises me is like the Roman Catholics basically run everything, but they actually didn't kick out the abortion deal with Obamacare, which I thought for sure they would, because Obamacare covers abortion. And it's like you're charging everybody to pay for everybody else's health care, and you have to give money to the government so people can go out and kill children, abort children. And the Roman Catholic Church had a big problem with it. And then they were like, nah, we're okay. We're fine now. And that was really surprising.
Yeah.
And that was that was the last thing I had for Roman Catholics is like, oh, you're a Roman Catholic. Okay, at least you're not murdering kids. Might be raping them, but at least you're not murdering them.
Yeah.
No, no, no. Now they're all for murdering kids too. So
It,
yeah,
it, it
it's pretty
just
sad.
I just see a bigger picture, you know. Like the Vatican, I looked up the population, 800. The Vatican City is 800. Like
Yeah.
what the heck? So, and then you talk about all the idols they have. Well, think about all the idols we have in America. You look at the music videos and TV and the porn, everything, just media, the media in general. Look at all the
Well, yeah.
idol worship we have. It, it the
That's one of
Vatican's
those
got
deals where
nothing
you
on
get
us.
to. That's one of those deals where you get to call anything an idol, though, and
Yeah. Well, anything can be an idol, you know.
yeah,
Depends on.
anything absolutely can be, but I'm really careful with like for instance, Brian Dedlinger, he decides what a sin is. And you got to be real careful with that stuff. Where I'm going to decide this is a sin. I'm going to decide this is a sin. I don't like my neighbor. He's a sinner. I don't like Max Bauer. He's a sinner. I don't like this. He's a sinner. And it, that personal interpretation of things like that is nah. And when people call things idols and stuff like that, I personally see idols as really something that you actually worship. Okay. You might spend 10 hours a day playing a video game. Doesn't mean you worship the video game. It means you really like your video game. But if you go out to Mecca and you're bowing down and worshiping this black stone in Mecca and, you know, whatever they do there for their ceremony, that is worship. And making all these other things into like worship, something like that is ridiculous. But the Catholics definitely do. They got their statues. I even have videos of where they're all kissing the feet of the statue of Saint Peter, and the feet's all like smoothed over from people kissing it. That yeah, you're worshiping that stuff.
Yeah.
That's worship.
Yeah. And God knows who's worshiping what, because if their
Yeah,
heart's not right, He knows what your idol is, and
yeah.
most of it's probably money on most people.
Oh yeah, and honestly, you know, making money and idolizing people who have money is not necessarily that bad of a thing. Maybe they are still good people. They just happen to have a lot of money.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan happened to be a really good basketball player. If you like playing basketball, nothing wrong with idolizing Michael Jordan. At least a little bit. Be like, yeah, that guy could dunk. I got to stick my tongue out too when I do it. And, you know, it's humanity. It's what it is. And just day to day
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah, day to
Well,
day life. And it's important to make the best of what you got. And if it happens to be idolizing Michael Jordan, going off in the woods like Brian Denlinger with your tin can on your tractor or whatever you're going to do. I mean, what's important is that, you know, people are safe and spreading, you know, Christianity as you talk to people, as you go around throughout your life. That's pretty well what's important. And taking care of your family and taking care of yourself, stuff like that. That's that's it. That's what's
yeah.
important.
Yep.
And don't sell all your stuff because the rapture is going to be September 23rd. Oh, wait, we're in October 10th. I mean,
Yeah.
October 14th. It's going to be
Don't tell me
October
what to do.
14th. It's going to
I got
be
a
October 14th.
I got a huge garage sale.
No, the 14th. You
Everything's
have to sell
free.
everything now.
Everything's free.
No, no. Live your life and live for God. And, you know, rapture comes, rapture comes.
Yeah.
Sooner the better. But beyond that, live your life.
Yeah. So, like I say, I'll make a video on it, a breakdown of everything. So I'll have an
Yeah,
answer
that'd
to
be cool.
everything you guys said. I remember You mentioned in one part, and I had to look it up because I remembered it, but I didn't feel like getting into it yesterday. I knew I didn't have enough time. But you said something about Babylon would have to be over there in Syria, I think, or something like that.
Um,
Like that's where it would
Babylon,
have.
the physical original Babylon is in
Right,
Iraq.
Iraq. That's
And
what you said.
Robert kept saying Saudi Arabia. And I'm like, dude, it's Iraq. But whatever.
Right, right.
And the city, according to the verse, the city Babylon is being rebuilt. And I don't necessarily take that as literal rebuilding of Babylon, because in the scripture it also says that Babylon can never be rebuilt. And Saddam Hussein tried to rebuild it and failed and got taken out by us. And so it has to be either a spiritual or just a new city, or has to do something like that. And he was talking about um Rome or something, some new city that's being built that's going to be the new Babylon. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't see that. But what I did find was, if anybody wants to, the point was, um, that Babylon is was prophesied to be moved. It's not going to be in the same spot, and you can read
Yeah.
that in Zechariah 5:5 through 11. So go to Zechariah chapter 5 and read 5 through 11, and you'll see that mystery Babylon the Great was actually was put in. It's a cool couple of verses because he talks about the woman, which is mystery Babylon the Great, was put inside of a vessel called an ephah and put a lead lid on it. And so Zechariah was asking, "What is this?" And he says, "This is the woman that sitteth in the midst of the ephah. This is wickedness." And he's talking about Babylon, the wickedness, this woman. Um, but he talks about this stork
Mhm.
picks this thing up and takes it away. And then Zechariah asks, "Where the heck is that thing going?" And he says, "It'll be established and upon its own base." So basically, saying Babylon is going to be somewhere else. But anyway, that's another read. I ain't getting into that, dude. It's like 11:23. Just interesting things. But dude, monetize. Do it.
Yeah.
I want to see your analytics change. I want to see something if there's any change at all. I have to see it now that you brought it up.
Yeah, we'll just have to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can already see Ed and all them coming after me. Good afternoon.
Yeah.
To
I
Max
wouldn't.
Power.
Yeah. No, look at this guy, Max Bauer. Look at him. You know,
No,
don't even know what he's doing. These guys. These guys. I don't. I like Ed. Ed, if you're listening,
oh,
I like you, man.
yeah, I
I
know.
don't understand half your stuff, but I like you. This
Well,
guy,
we'll have to see. We're gonna do this thing. This has got the coconuts over here. This is a coconut. You got peanuts in your head.
Oh yeah, he just has that smile. Oh, good stuff, Ed.
Oh, yeah. I mean, who knows?
Mm.
Um, yeah, I'm just upset with not getting the exposure that I used to get. We'll try it and we'll see what happens. I don't know.
Test
Let's
it.
see what
Test it out.
goes.
I wouldn't worry about what
Um,
anybody else thinks.
I have 7 thumbs up to no thumbs down. So that's the thing on this live stream is you want me to monetize, thumb up. If you don't, thumb down.
Mm,
Then there you go. So
you're
that's
good.
how it is. All right, man.
My vote's in. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow and
All right.
have a good one.
All right. We'll talk
All
to you
right.
later, man.
Bye, everybody.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is I haven't been looking at chat. I've been talking to Brett the entire time. So I'm gonna go back through all the stuff and then we're gonna call it a night. Ad block. Dutch since doesn't have subs in Greenland. Sandy Sims Woods. Um, you might want to tell me about that because Greenland never comes up as far as having any viewers, and I know there is people in Greenland. Found Mac's channel from Brian Endlinger. Okay. Well, I guess he's worth something. Okay, so I was on Dutch Since just before this. His videos are getting shut down. Dutch Since is another YouTuber? Do I have to copy that and check out his stuff? Because I don't know. Infinite Architect. Interesting point. You may be tempted to create sensationalist content because it gets more views. Yes, that's what happens. That's what happens. Um, my income is not dependent on what happens on YouTube. It's not dependent on what happens on Patreon or what happens on PayPal donations and stuff like that. So I'm not in that situation. But there are a lot of people out there that basically guide their content to what's going to get me the most views and the most money. Um, I'm not sure how it's all going to work yet, or even whether or not I'm going to do it. Sandy Sims with the last generation. Adam's live streams are being hacked big time. I don't know who you're talking about, Sandy Sims. You're talking about Dutch again. So I guess I'll have to look him up after the stream. Deb Jones, sometimes they are not true people, only bots. Send an email to YouTube. You're going to get a bot response. And it's going to sound sort of like it's an actual person typing it out, but no, it's a bot. It's a bot. Valerie Rubbert has many subscribers, but only a few watching. This is the problem that I'm talking about right now, is that I used to have average watch time of about 22 minutes. And for every month, people would watch a year of my content in hours, a year's worth of content. And it's gone significantly down, even though my subscriber base has gone way up. So there's something going on. There's something going on. Phil Urban Trout. I enjoy the thumbnail for the Muslim story. It's pretty. Yeah, that's Lake Calhoun. Right down there in Minneapolis. Deb, you didn't get the notice for the Babylon show for 40 minutes. Sometimes you have to refresh. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I spend most of my time actually creating content as opposed to watching other people's content. So I don't know. Well, Valerie's going to support me. There we go. I got one. Jason 35F is about 1.6C. Very cold. Yeah, it is very cold. It's supposed to snow tonight. It's only the 10th of October, man. We shouldn't be having any snow, even for Minnesota. What am I supposed to do with that? What am I supposed to do with that? It's ridiculous. Den loser. Yeah. Babylon Mecca. Sandy Sims Woods. Yeah. We're still rolling with Vatican. I actually want to see what Brett comes out with, because we went for an incredibly long time yesterday. We went for like 2 hours, a little over 2 hours, which is odd. I usually like to keep things around an hour and maybe 20 minutes to a half hour of questions and things like that. And went for 2 hours. And we're all still talking. And I know Brett has a lot more information on what he wants to talk about. And because the position that both Robert and I take are a more orthodox, I don't know if you more popular, call it that. we have a more popular position, the information for us comes a lot easier and is a lot easier to explain. I'm actually interested to see what Brett has for his video because I'd like to see it. Deb Jones, a lot of Roman symbolism in DC. Yep, that's Washington DC is 100% Freemasonic. Like even the streets are Freemasonic. I mean, it's a bad place. Pablo Valdez, if you Google city in Seven Hills, yes. And I'm not sure. Brett says that Vatican was only on one hill, but they actually do have coins where they have seven hills. So I'm not sure exactly where he's getting that from, but not really a big deal. Valerie, we both have beautiful spirits. Yes, we do. Thank you. Jesse Wooten, Catholic Church took out a commandment and combined a couple. Yeah. If you go to my channel and videos and sort by oldest, the very first one is me versus John Hagee, and then the very next one is Catholicism Christian. And that was me, a wee young babe, 5 years ago, and I talk all about that. Random guy listening to rock music is a sin. It's a sin. It's a sin. I almost want to get my hat on, but I'm getting tired now. I'm kind of hungry. I got to answer these questions and get out of here. Call the friends in Greenland. Yep. Jesse Wooten, yes. Everybody else other than Brian Denlinger is wrong. Yep, he does believe in work salvation. Sounds like a demagogue. Well, I'm not going to, this isn't going to be a Brian Denlinger stream. I actually went way longer than I intended to. I was just going to put the deal out there about whether or not I should monetize and the reasons for that. It's not because I'm going to make any money. I'm not going to make nothing. It has to do with YouTube needs to back me and support me to put Christian message out across the world and not just to the people that I'm subscribed to. It has to go out. And that's the main deal. And I don't know. I mean, I can't say that monetization is obviously going to fix everything wrong. I don't know that. I don't know. But because I have not done it, I can't say one way or the other. I do know that I was getting a certain amount of traffic and a certain amount of views in different countries. And then now I'm getting this. And I didn't, if anything, I'm actually producing a lot more content than I used to. And a lot of that has to do with because what happens with monetization, there's a lot of monetized videos on my channel because I don't own them. What happens is I'm free to go ahead and go upload whatever, like Ken Hovind. Okay. He's always said, go ahead and go upload whatever you want to. But then 2 years later down the line, the guy goes and monetizes and it monetizes the stuff on my channel. And anybody who watches it on my channel goes to his pocket. And that happens like that with a lot of things. And so I have not been re-uploading a lot of other people's content, really not much of anybody, unless I talk to them on the phone. And what's going to end up happening is if I monetize, anybody who's re-uploaded my stuff, you're going to have probably commercials on it or something. I don't know what it is. It's not going to kick your channel off, but it's these things that sort of happen, and I need to have that that exposure that I used to have. And as Brett was saying, it looks like they're actually cutting off your IP address to where you can only go out to certain places. It's possible. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, all I can do is test. Okay. All I can do is test things and see what happens. So I think with that, if anyone's got any other questions, otherwise I gotta go eat some chicken. Sandy Sims, they're too busy with backing the adversary. I think that companies like YouTube really don't care. They're kind of like Freemasons in a way that they don't care what you worship as long as you worship them. You can worship whatever else you want to. I don't think that they're really anti-Christian, not from what I've seen. Um, it's the fact that I'm not a partner with them, and they've been on me since I started to be a YouTube partner. All right. All right, guys. Thank you all for joining me. Um, we'll see about what my next video is going to be here. Maybe we're going to talk a little bit about chick tracks. I have a whole thing on the roster. Okay. A few different videos that I have to do stuff on. I also want to talk chick tracks and also deal with this monetization thing. But I have time. Robert is going to be in Green Bay. I think it's Appleton. So he's going to be up there for a couple of weeks. I'm still probably going to do a live stream, still probably have Brett around, but Robert's going to be doing that. And if I'm not doing that, it's probably because I'm up there because we have friends in Green Bay. So that may or may not happen. And that's what's going on in the next couple of weeks. So that's what's going on with that. We are going to be out of here.